Colin Long in the altered, our number 13 qualifier with a 7.96, dialing in with a 7.93.
Oh,
Neil
nice
Dyson, look at that reaction
Neil.
time. .006.
This could win him this pass if he doesn't break out. He's certainly going to take the finish line at 8.553 at 245 kilometres an hour. The win goes to Neil Dyson.
Oh, Alan White down in the rocket lane. Multiple time winner of modified up against Simon Leckius, the Osborne Motors and All Fast Spitzer Dragster, 540 cubic inch big block shed behind his head. Alan White dialing in with an 8.56, Simon with a 7.30. Our number one qualifier for Simon as well with a 7.31 with a 7 yesterday.
I'll tell you what, he must be really confident with this car for a 7.317 qualifier and a 7.30 dial-in, so he must be feeling this car is fairly strong. And Alan White with an 8.56 dial-in, but 8.65 for his qualifier, qualified in P20. And the Ford at T-Bucket with a small block Chev 384. Coming into stage, he'll get into full stage. And we'll see him get the green light first. He's away, bit of a lift, twist towards the wall, got it straight really fast. But I tell you what, Simon's chasing him down he's really reeling him in by the finish line. He may break out. No, he takes an 8.6 to a 7.342. I tell you what, his dial-in was so close to what he ran, but the win goes to Alan White, 241 kilometres an hour.
Well, we got Joe out there in the J&C Mowers Dragster. Joe Princey. 565 cubic inch big block Chev sitting behind his head, up against Travis Leifting in the 377 cubic inch Chev powered 23T altered.
He's not interstate, but I tell you what, he's from Taree, so he's not local to here. But good to see people travelling down for the East Coast Nationals here at Sydney Dragway for 2015. You know why Sydney Dragway is the place to be? Because this is where excitement lives.
And Taree must be a motorsport culture up there, because our mate Mad Mick Brasher is from Taree as well.
Indeed, the guy that tunes my cars from Taree as well. So Taree are the bigger motorheads up there. As we go back to racing, the guys are coming in to stage. Joe's being called in by his lovely staging backup girl, Emma O'Neill.
Emma O'Neill, yes. Also one of our track officials here at Sydney Dragway.
Into stage, here we go. The light will go first for Travis Leifting, and he's away. Joe is going to try and reel him in and take the finish line without breaking out. Ooh, Travis takes the win at an 8.702, 235 kilometres an hour.
All right, a couple of dragsters out on track.
Daniel Moore in the RE Dragster, small block Chev 334 cubic inch, up against Michael Braggs in the Dragster with the 565 cubic inch Chev. Easton, a frameless shower, one of his sponsors, and Daniel Moore's sponsor, Tractor Replacements, also 2620 Plumbing. Bit of a plug for their sponsors there. Dial in for Daniel Moore in the airflow lane of a 791. Michael Braggs in the rocket lane 738. So that'll be almost just a light change difference. Daniel will be slightly in front.
Yeah, Daniel been running very consistent as well. Been around that 7.9 all weekend so far. And Michael Braggs has been pretty good too. 7.38 dial in, qualified with a 7.44. So Daniel Moore into pre-stage, just waiting for Michael Braggs to just bump the dragster in the pre-stage. There he goes.
We'll both go into full stage, and we will be away. As I said, Daniel Moore will get the light first, but only just by 6/10. Just flash that. He's into full stage now, Michael is. And away, Daniel's away pretty quick. Good reaction time, 0.26, but a 0.31 for Michael Braggs. They're taking it right to the wire. I think we didn't quite get a break at 7.658 for the win. Michael Braggs at 255 kilometres an hour. pops that chute, blossoms nicely down to the turnaround road.
Attention in the pits, could we please have all of our 400 Thunder top qualifiers, please, in each of your respective classes. Each of the top qualifiers in the 400 Thunder classes to assemble just behind the tower for the top qualifier presentations at 12:45, please. 12:45. So all our top qualifiers in the 400 Thunder series, please assemble behind the tower at 12:45. Thank you.
Thank you, Rusty.
Right, Jenny Petrie, Timmick Hot Rod Supplies, sponsored Fiat Topolino 400 cubic inch Chev, up against Sergio Benetti from South Australia and the Benetti Transport Services 32 Ford Coupe, which is a really cool looking car.
The two brothers, actually, I think they're brothers. They've been almost identical cars, almost identical times and reaction times they've been running since yesterday. Been watching them with interest since yesterday. So you watch the twist, they both have the same twist. The right rear squats, the left comes up, and it sort of almost stays on that tilt all the way to the finish line with a 10.10 or 10.1 dial in to an 8.44 dial in for Jenny Petrie. See the twist? There's the twist. He's away with the red light, so it's cost him the race. And Jenny Petrie's taken off, and the chute has popped as she's launched. I have seen this a couple of times before. Not great for your times. 844, tell you what, 844 dial in, and she runs at 882 with the chute out.
All right. Kenny Stewart, the Fuchs Lubricants Dragster, 441 cubic inch Chev, just sitting behind his head.
Just repeating again, the 400 Thunder Series top qualifiers in the pit area. 400 Thunder Series top qualifiers. You assemble at the just behind the tower at 12:45, please. The 400 Thunder top qualifiers just assemble at the rear of the tower by 12:45, please, guys. That will be fantastic. And we're going to Kenny Stewart with a solo pass. Fuchs Lubricants, one of the sponsors. And Stewie breaks everything up here.
Yes, my button doesn't like me at times. Kenny Stewart dialing in with a 7.97, which is a fairly safe dial-in for him. He's been running around the 8.0s.
That is a safe dial-in, isn't it?
So
maybe he just feels he's got that much more, and he needs a bit of room to play so he can take the win.
Well, thankfully,
very neat sounding engine as he goes down there. Pops that chute 7993 at 263 kilometres an hour. It did red light. But that doesn't really matter.
No, he's on the solo, so he's very, very lucky. All right, that's it for Timmick Hot Rod Supplies Modified. We are now about to get into Superstock.
Superstock.
And we got Kim Fidella.
This is round one of Superstock. Yep. By the looks of my paperwork. What a burnout, Kim Fidella and John Calamone. And the Pontiac Firebird, his turn to clean those tyres off and get ready up into stage 4 this round one for Superstock.
Yeah, Kim Fidella running in D-Gas and John Colmone running in C altered production. A good class, this Superstock. It's one that I absolutely love. Just the different styles of cars in one bracket always adds for exciting racing.
It certainly does.
And the big Pontiac Firebird up against the Ford Falcon.
Looks like it's a 320 Windsor powered. 320 cubic inch Windsor powered Falcon up against the Chev 290.
Not much between them on the dial-in either.
John's coming into stage 874, dial in for the Falcon, 820 for John in the rocket lane as he tries to chase him down. Reeling him in slightly to the finish line, but I think Kim might just, I thought Kim was going to break out, but since 8397 is a breakout, but by less, is it?
Yes.
It certainly is. 231 kilometres an hour. I'll tell you what, John ran through for 278 kilometres an hour at a 7.844.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, down on track now. We've got
Briggs & Stratton's based engines putting out quite a bit of horsepower. I mean, you can hear them. These guys, these cars have their own pitch. They are really loud. You know what it's like on the start line.
Yeah, some of them have got that real little cackle that comes out of the exhaust on them. It's fantastic, isn't it?
Bit like a motorcycle cackle, but on a single cylinder. It's just amazing.
Now, this is going to be a tough race. Dylan Panetta, the straight line paint and panel, A-Class JD, up against Natalie Bishop. 8.00 dial in for Dylan Panetta. Natalie Bishop, 8.06.
Ooh, that's not even a light difference. That's almost heads-up racing. That is so close. This will be an interesting. This will take it to the wire. This will be all on reaction time and reaction time only if their little cars are so consistent, which usually they are. Although Natalie's stage slightly facing to the left, because we're sitting directly behind the cars, slightly off to the left. Maybe that's a strategic thing, or maybe look at that. They're away. I tell you what, Natalie got the 60-foot jump on Dylan. Takes the win for an 8.007. Look at that. 8.807. 130 kilometres an hour to 133 kilometres an hour.
Jeez, that's quick.
That was close.
Real quick. All right, I can see Joe Curry down there on the start line, which means Bianca Humphries.
Exactly. Bianca Humphries, sponsored by Joe Curry Drag Racing at Trevette Harley-Davidson. And Antonio Panetta, Straight Line Paint and Panel Junior Drags, are sponsored by also Anthony Secret Gardens, Panetta Brothers Racing. So there's all the sponsors. The Junior Dragsters get a lot of sponsors on board. They get a lot of interest from sponsors. Yeah,
it's good to see too, all these different sponsors throughout all the classes getting behind Australian drag racing. And look, Bianca, she feels like she's been in this class a long, long time. But I'll tell you what, extremely tough racer. You and I have seen her at our Chirrut Blacktown State Championship rounds.
That's correct.
Here,
we certainly have.
It's full on.
She's right into it. I don't think she ever misses a meet, like a race meet. But she's usually pitting with Joe when he's racing, but he's not racing today. No. Good to see him up and about. Oh, that's a very close light.
Yeah, 0.070 for Antonio.
Oh, Antonio's taking the lead there. He just takes it at 8.2 to 8.0. 129 kilometres an hour for Bianca, 125 for Antonio.
Well, Josh Leonello down there in the Komatsu and High Tech Oils sponsored A-Class Junior Dragster. About to take on Eden Ward, our reigning national champion in Junior Dragster, running for Team Mopar Australia. Yeah. And look at that, identical dial in, 8.05.
This is heads up. This is all or nothing.
It is. Fantastic to see. The Junior Drags is really turning it on today here at the East Coast Nationals.
You know what I love when they do a burnout?
I do too.
I mean, they don't get a lot of smoke, but they hit it just in the water box. I've seen a couple of them go sideways. Awesome to watch, but I like when they're practicing with the parachutes. When they're practicing to get up to the next class, they actually put the parachutes on these little things and they pull the chutes on the finish line or just before the finish line in practice to get into the bigger cars. As we're coming to stage, Eden just coming into deep stage. Both lights go together. They're away. Great reaction time from Josh, 0.009 to a 1.24 for Eden. But I tell you what, it looks like Eden's broken out to a 7.923 for 8.05 dial-in. 133 kilometres an hour to 129 kilometres an hour for Josh.
Yeah, Josh broke out as well, but by the least amount. So he is through to the next round of Jane C. Mowers Junior Dragsters.
That looks like it for the Junior Dragsters, Stu.
Yeah, it looks like it. And we should be having
Super Street should be coming through the tunnel very, very shortly.
Which is a bracket that you and I do keep a close eye on fairly regularly, because Frank and I, for those people that are new here to Sydney Dragway, Frank and I do the commentary on Wednesday night street meets, Race for Real. And for those people out in the crowd, you know, you guys can come out here and race your own car down the quarter mile.
Keeping it off the streets, as we say.
Yeah. But Super Street is kind of the natural progression. Once you come out to a street meet, some people get the bug and think, you know what, I want to come racing.
That's right.
What's the best way for me to go about it?
I ended up coming racing, but I always end up here. I'd just like to take this moment to take a big thank you to Liqui Moly. Founded in Germany over 50 years ago, Liqui Moly is one of Europe's leading brands of high-quality lubricants and fuel. and oil additives. Working closely with many of the world's best car makers, our products are developed, tested, certified to the exacting standards you would expect of a leading German manufacturer. Liqui Moly formulations are ideal for prestige, performance, muscle and classic cars, as